This is the final episode of My Hero Academia before All Might loses his powers. By the end of this episode, they're already gone, and this was by far the most emotional episode in the entire series. I knew that it would be. Having read the manga, I already knew that I was going to break down the minute his finger went up. But we're reviewing episode 11 of My Hero Academia Season 3. So without further ado, let's get started. The episode opens up and we see Toshinori Yagi, aka a young All Might, talking to Nana Shimura about what this world needs. He says it needs a symbol of peace, a pillar that can stand tall, that can make everyone feel reassured, to make everyone know that they will always be protected, so that they can smile. Nana starts talking about how that's why you want to become a hero, even though you're quirkless. She says it with such a cold face, and All Might can look at her directly in the eyes. As she turns to him, she says, "You're really funny, aren't you?" And that's when the opening theme plays. As Odd Future goes by, we get to see glimpses of the All Might vs. All for One fight before returning back to the present. Deku begins contemplating the situation, thinking All Might's on his last leg, Gran Torino is there, and they're the only two who can fight right now. He notices this despair as they goes to the fight. All Might is directly above All for One as All for One begins taunting him, saying, "I killed Nana Shimura, the previous user of One for All. You can't stop me. She was pathetic and caught up in her own ideals. That's why she lost. She didn't have the strength or the skills to stop me." All Might goes crazy and launches a punch, and All for One launches him at a helicopter. As All Might goes flying, we hear jet engines pulsing, and that sends Gran Torino up into the air. As Gran Torino catches him, he begins telling All Might that he shouldn't talk to All for One, that All for One is going to play dirty and use these tricks in order to get All Might to go crazy. He shouldn't talk to him at all. He should stay calm and fight. That's how he ended up getting hurt last time. He needs to win this fight. It's do or die. So either he goes beyond what he can do now, or the world falls. But then we get glimpses at everyone who's watching this fight. The members of UA, the teachers, random people, everyone looking in shock as they see the symbol of peace on his last leg. Everyone, the most arrogant of people, Deku, Tenya, everybody is looking. As All for One begins to look up at All Might, and he tells him why they hate each other. He tells them that they hate one another equally. That just as much as All Might hates All for One for killing his mentor, All for One hates All Might for taking away everything from him. As they begin looking at each other, All for One says, "You can't block this," as All Might notices a woman standing in some rubble. All Might sees this and he has no other choice but to protect her from it. As he jumps in front of the blow, he shows his weak, pathetic form to the world. The world now knows about All Might's form, and Deku looks on in shock. The secret that the two of them have been keeping for this whole time, for these past 3 months, I think it's 4 months now, for these past couple of months, has now been revealed. The world knows about All Might's weakened form, and as All Might looks at them, he clenches in his hand the power of One for All. He begins shining, and One for All is now glistening through All Might's body. All Might looks assured and says, "No matter what happens, I'll still have the heart of the symbol of peace." That's when All for One reveals that Shigaraki Tomura is the grandson of Nana Shimura. He begins putting his fingers up in order to fake a smile, the same way that Nana Shimura used to do whenever she was training All Might for the brief period of time that she was. And All Might sees this, and it sends shivers down his spine. It sends shivers down our own spine. This is what All for One is willing to do. As All Might lets out a blood-curdling scream from the top of his lungs, we truly get an image of what the despair in the situation is, how destructive All for One truly is, how evil All for One truly is. Deku then yells, "Win," from the top of his lungs. Everyone is telling All Might to win. Everyone is shouting in despair for All Might to win. Bakugo lets out a scream for All Might to win. There isn't a single person who isn't yelling at this moment. Even Deku and Bakugo, in unison, are yelling for All Might to win, are yelling for their hero to win, the person who inspired them to become heroes. They can't see him go now. They want All Might to win from the bottom of their hearts. They need him to win. All Might, they're begging him to win. And as All Might looks on, he clenches the entire power that he has left, one for all, into his right fist. He powers it up, and now it's shining. It's glistening through his own body. And that's when he remembers what Nana Shimura told him before she passed. Remember why you fight. When you feel the depths of despair clenching at your door, remember everything that you've learned. Remember your origins, Toshinori. Remember who you are and how you got there. That's when the other heroes show up, saying that they're here to make sure that no matter what, All Might's going to be able to fight, even if they can only lessen the burden by a little bit. They want it to be enough, whether it's just saving a couple civilians that are on the scene, stopping All Might from using his full power, whether it's attacking All for One, they'll do it. That's when Gran Torino remembers something Nana told him. He remembers that Nana told him about Toshinori, how he's crazy and how he wants to be the symbol of peace, how everything that he dreams of, he wants to come to fruition, and how he only does it for the benefit of everyone in the world. As everyone is shouting Bakugo Deku, he begins thinking of the students that admire him, everyone who wants to be like him. All Might is at the point where he needs to stop this. All for One uses his right fist to create a demolished, just disgusting arm filled with all of the quirks that he's built up from this moment. Everything is going to this final blow. All Might puts all of his power into his right arm, and he begins jumping towards All for One in order to block his punch with one of his own. As their two punches fly, they clash together. Power is emanating from All Might, something we've never seen before, electricity coming off of him, just like how Deku is. His body is no longer able to handle the strain of One for All. He begins looking and saying he has to reprimand Deku. He has to tell Deku that what he did wasn't right and he put himself in danger. He puts out a smile as he says this, and he looks at All for One. That's when we get an image of All Might surrounding a flame, the flame being One for All. He can't have it go out yet, so he'll do whatever he can to protect it for now, until he can defeat All for One. He'll stand tall and make sure that it doesn't go out. As All Might punches All for One in the face with his left arm, transferring the powers over, he just looks at him. He remembers what Gran Torino said, that he has to be tricky if he wants to get a good hit in. The punch knocks All for One in the face and throws him back, and then we get to see that All Might's hand is now broken, just like how Deku's gets after he throws a punch. His body can't handle it any longer. One for All is diminishing and he doesn't have the powers anymore. It's just small glimmers of it. He can't hold this out for longer. All Might's hand is destroyed, just like how Deku's would be destroyed when he first started using it. All Might sees this. It's bright purple. It's bruised up. His bones are basically sand now. But what other choice does he have other than to fight? In this moment, we begin getting images, the same lights that we always see, the lights of One for All. And then we see Nana Shimura standing behind All Might, and she says, "It's your turn now." And she sees this, and she puts her hand out to Toshinori Yagi's. As she puts her hand out to All Might's, her power, and the last power that All Might has, goes into his final blow. And that's when All Might lets out a blood-curdling scream for his final attack. He looks out to see All for One with deadshot eyes. Nothing is going to stop him from letting out this final blow. Not a single thing in this world can stop him from letting out this final blow. He begins aim towards All for One and he says farewell, as he shouts from the top of his lungs, "United States of Smash!" And he knocks All for One to the ground. With this final blow of All Might's, it literally leaves destruction in his wake. It sends rubble shooting through the sky. But he's finally stopped him. He stopped All for One. All Might looks up and says, "Farewell, One for All." He stands proud in his muscle form for the brief seconds that he can hold it, lifts his hand up to the air the same way that he did in the first episode of the series. It's over now. Bakugo looks on solemnly. He sees that the crowd is shouting hooray, but he knows what's going on. He remembers what Deku told him before. And Deku realizes that All Might's time is over. He's sad for his hero. He wishes his hero could stay his hero longer. All Might throws up one finger, pointing towards the camera, and he says, "You're next." Most of the people in the world took that as any villains out there that want to try and take on him. He took down the symbol of evil. They can't stop him. Deku looks and sees this. Deku looks and sees All Might say, "Next is your turn." He begins thinking about what everybody thought, and that's when he realizes what it means to him. "My power is all used up now, Deku. It's your turn to be the new symbol of peace." Bakugo looks at Deku as he sees Deku crying, realizing what this means. And that's when we get the escape of the city. Beautiful landscape, light finally shining over the arena that was created by All For One. The fight's now over. All For One has been taken down and captured. There's no more need to fight. It's all over now. All For One is defeated. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you did enjoy, share the video with your family and your friends. Subscribe to get an update. This was such a heart-wrenching episode. Oh my gosh, I loved this episode. I went into tears the minute All Might's finger went up, and it was so amazing to see this. Thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye, everyone.